Hey, greetings, Anand. Can you hear me okay?
I think I'm muted.
Nope, you're good.
Okay. Let me.
Just can't see you yet. I see your mug.
Alrighty.
Let's see, where are we at here?
I'm in Puerto Rico at the office.
You are, okay, 'cause last time was Florida.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Let me just take this off and welcome. Thanks for joining us this Thursday afternoon. What a week we've already started the year with. And I just want to clarify, today we have Women in Trading and Finance chat and a fabulous guest speaker, Sassy, Rachel of Sassy Spy, and Anand and I, Anand Sanglucci, you already know who we are just coming together and having a chat this afternoon. But I wanted to clarify because I had inadvertently sent out a link to next Thursday's Macro to Micro Power Hour, which is going to feature a SPAC guru. So come on back. It's going to be a fabulous one. He's been trading since these vehicles that have just really hit my radar in the past few years. He's been doing it since 2007 actively and made a killing this past year. So we're going to talk about that next Thursday. So apologies for sending out the wrong link. You're in the right place if you're here to chat it up on Women in Trading and Finance. So happy New Year. I'm glad we have this to focus on and not yesterday's events.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't even want to talk about that.
No, we're not gonna. Because if you think I'm passionate about women in trading and finance, you should get me on a soapbox for this particular coup. So let's not.
Yeah.
You can catch all that flavor on Twitter. But so
Yeah. I'm close to hiring my first woman trader at the office.
awesome.
Very, very close. My fund is growing, so I have to put on a couple new traders.
Okay.
And luckily, one came by my way, and she's very hyped. She's very energetic. She's very excited, and hopefully,
It'll
hopefully I
work
get the
out.
shot. Yeah, hopefully I get the
Awesome.
shot.
Well,
Hopefully I get the shot.
I have also another person who reached out. You actually know him.
Hmm.
He is looking for spread the word, if you will, about a mentorship opportunity that he's offering if there are some ambitious, savvy women who are interested in the quant space. Do you want to talk about that a little bit right now, or?
Yeah, sure. I actually just got off the phone with them. So
Okay.
they're running a very, very interesting operation in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And basically they're market making options and providing liquidity for futures for a lot of crypto products. And they're in a very new world right now, and it's kind of like the wild west over there, in the sense that options markets are not mature for crypto trading exchanges, and there's a lot of places for growth in this particular area, especially as regulations are changed in the United States, and brokers are kind of opening up and closing because of KYC rules and all this kind of other stuff. So to put it more simply, is that there's a lot of growth for some algorithmic market making type strategies for options trading, and for futures as well. And this guy is a gentleman who is also very focused on education as well. And so he's looking to put together some mentorship for the hopes that these will turn into some employees in the future.
Absolutely. So he happened to send me a write-up site. We talked on the phone as well before the holidays. And I said, okay, so let me get my arms around this because, we want to let some folks know, obviously, about this opportunity. And you happen to know him. So he reached out to me as well, put this together. I just shared it, his background, his trading experience, and he's got some. So it's kind of cool. He's been not just the crypto side, but also, energy markets and such. So and market maker. So there's definitely a math brain here that he's looking for. It has to be a good fit, but he's open to offering this free of charge. This isn't, something that he's selling a service. He
Yeah.
really feels passionate about this space and leveling up the playing field for women in trading and finance. Yes. So go John. And he basically presented this type of mentorship for women who are seeking a salary job in trading in the future, right? So working with him, and whether it be prop, brokerage, institutional. And then, we've got some women in trading outreach that Anand and I are doing for this case study alone, where they're going to be women, but also men who are stepping up to offer their expertise and their network potentially, but most importantly, the mentorship. So John Devine is his name. We'll make that connection, if you will, trading mentorship. I think it's an awesome opportunity. So there you go.
Absolutely. Sam, can we get a participant list? Oh, it's right here. I got it. So I
Yeah,
can
I was going to
invite.
say, do we want to send his email to, in chat, or how do you want to?
Yeah, what I will do is I'll send his email in the chat. Once we're done with Rachel, we'll throw it out there again for another briefing, and I'll throw out the email. And then if you guys want to link up with us at any time, you guys know how to find us. We'll connect you with him. This dude actually was down in Puerto Rico here with me for a while, and then he took this opportunity out in Chicago. But he's still very much connected to Puerto Rico as well, and it's kind of him and me together that are looking to push these kind of opportunities forward to you guys, who I hope you guys take advantage of.
Absolutely. And anything this week that kind of caught your attention you wanted to pull out? Because we had a little hiatus here with the 2 week with the holiday break. You were in Florida last time now, and we had a fabulous guest, my friend Miss Schneider from Market Minute and Market Gauge, and she is just fabulous presenter too, because she's been in this biz for about 40 years. She was hysterical talking about sex and cocaine and the origins of working on the floor back in the day. It was a lot of fun. We learned something too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that webinar I enjoyed so much. I gotta promote it a little bit more, because I feel like there's so many more people that should check it out. I mean, her story was amazing.
It's inspiring, and how to navigate that. Talk about that kind of culture, if you will. And so nothing phases her now. Long story short, she just goes right to the table and sits at it and has no problem, because she's that good, that confident, but she's also had to navigate a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and again, like this young lady that we're about to bring on, I met her in New York City, and I kind of watched her growth on Twitter, and I watched her. We would compete on trades and everything like that, and then we just kind of lost touch, because I just kind of went dark. Actually, no, I lost it all, and then I left New York, so I just kind of stopped talking to everybody. And
she had a baby though too. I follow her.
She had a baby. Had a baby, and she kind of went through that whole experience as well. And I hope we'll get some of those stories. We'll get some of those stories from her today. So it should be good.
We have. That's a positive story where she obviously had a lot of success living in New York, living the dream. And I think got married, had a baby, whatever. It was fabulous for her. 2020, however, was a year that devastated a lot of women in the workforce. We talked a little bit about that the first time we were out on this, but 2.2 million women were forced out of their jobs in the US due to this, economic crisis and caregiving burdens. So we actually talked about women coming into the trading field to make their way, right? Not just their stimulus checks and on Robinhood, but just really apply this interest that they have and risk management. Have you seen an uptick of women in your chat room?
I've definitely seen an uptick. I have definitely seen an uptick, but again, what I've seen as the sort of the modus operandi, so to speak, is that they'll choose to kind of stay in the background, but I have definitely seen an uptick. I've definitely seen an uptick, even in Twitter and most of the communities that I'm involved in, definitely seen an uptick in women who want to get involved in this type of, in this type of industry. Whether maybe not more so the day trading, aggressively kind of day trading kind of thing. What I've seen is more women definitely just coming into the markets as investors, looking for companies to pick up on a dip buy, just like the rest of us. So that I will definitely see aggressively, and at some point we should try to bring some of those women on as well, just to talk to them as well, because they'll have a much different way, a much different story than some of the more active traders like Rachel that we're bringing on, and some of the guests that we have had previously, and then like you and me too. I mean, we're all really, really active, but there's some great stories from those who are a little bit more removed from us, but they're still very much, involved in the market.
No, there's and I'm just kind of hoping that we can get both types. In other words, those
Yeah,
who are, kind of struggling to find their fit, whether it be with mentors or with their own trading style,
exactly.
and just encouraging them, keep going, just keep doing it. Or those who are already entrenched in careers in this business, and not necessarily trader education like you and I, but also and active traders, but also going out and those who are in finance and actually doing their bid of navigating this world, and lessons that they can pass on, and encouragement and opportunities. So like John Devine stepped up and said, hey, I've got some, great energy to fuel this passion, and that you two are bringing the conversation. Let's step it up, and here's a mentorship opportunity. So happy New Year. Yeah, thanks. What else? What else you got cooking?
Oh man, what I have, I can't even. I'm now getting so pulled away to the other things that I have going on. I got a hemp operation in Puerto Rico that's turning into a marijuana operation because of a long story. I'm not even going to share here. They were trying to get it raised. They couldn't get the raise. Now they want to do short-term marijuana here on the island because there's some opportunities. I got that. I got two real estate properties. I gotta clean up here and get ready for Airbnb. I'm trying to catch the top on this damn Bitcoin over here.
No
And I'm
kidding.
trying I'm trying to get the kids. I'm trying to get the kids in the office active so that they can take care of the whole short for me. All right. I got the hedge fund here where I gotta work on with my team over here. And this market is so damn volatile. I'm getting shaken out of positions left and right. I got my own damn individual account that is just shot to the wayside. So all my emotions are going crazy.
Calm down,
I
breathe
got
deeply.
I
And
got things going on that, it's starting to get overwhelming. It is
no,
starting
no,
to
no,
get
no, no. You are best when you are stressed.
these
And
are
this
all
kind of
these are all good problems to have, and I'm blessed to even be able
And the
to
fact
have
that
them.
you have this is a good problem to have, but also you're growing this and you're thinking radar women, how can I bring more into the fund? This is awesome.
A
Well,
hundred
speaking
percent.
of the quant side and the algo side, I got a little bit thing going on too. I'm
Cool.
excited because I've been doing this Tuesday macro to micro power hour with Jonathan Gibbons of Big Tech. And my indicators, I've got 3 indicators that are the algos, the automated trading strategies. All 3 are built. The UI is looking so slick, great mobile. I'm so excited because I have not, I was slow to kind of embrace this. Okay, yeah, algos are the thing, but because I'm such a visual person, but I actually am ready to put that out there in the next few weeks, and it feels
That's
so darn good. And the
that's
algos are
amazing.
working phenomenally, and I have resisted it for how long have I known you?
I mean, we both have. I am about to
How long
bring
have I known
on
you?
I am about to bring on a full-time programmer that I'm going to pay out the ads for, and I'm about to bring on a full-time data analyst to do some of the similar things that you're working on, but just from a different sort of perspective.
Yeah,
And you and I both have avoided this for such a long time.
mine are done.
But,
They're built.
you
They
know,
look. They work great. They look great. I just need to now, get them out there. And I know some of your stuff you do for your hedge funds. I really just know the retail world, so this is why I'm going that way as far
yeah.
as these 3. But I'm so excited about it. So that's my little thing. I still, little bubble. Haven't left my home in suburbia and forever, but we're spreading the word.
All right.
Internet continues to just dominate every bit of information to democratize, if you will, this spread of politics and trading. So let's elevate it for women too. So tell us about our guest that we've got in.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think I want to leave the introduction to her. It's been a while since I've spoken to her, and and honestly, she popped in my head as soon as we started doing this webinar, and I just really wanted to reach out to her because she's definitely one of the ones that have sort of not really competed, so to speak, with myself, but we've definitely shared information, and she's always been on point. This one's always been on point from what I remember, and it's been a while. So let's invite her. She's here.
All right.
Rachel, I think you're the only one that can add her. I
will do it right now. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey, Archana, I just saw your name. I want to say howdy.
Oh, that's your girl, right, Archana?
Yeah. Let's see. It's going to be under Rachel, right?
Yeah, it's Rachel.
Rachel.
Yeah, right there.
Excited to go.
Yeah, we got some of my people in here too.
You have the power, Rachel.
Yeah. I think she's muted right now.
I'm muted,
Rachel,
yeah.
there she goes.
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right. Hey,
Happy New Year. Nice to meet you.
Happy New Year. Nice to meet you officially.
Thanks for joining in. We want to hear all your stories.
All right. By the way, Lucci, let me just say something here.
Do it.
You thought of me whenever this whole series started, yet you only recently refollowed me like a day ago.
Me too. No, seriously,
okay, but
he got rid of everybody. I was so mad.
Me.
But I got rid of everybody. But I got rid of everybody, though. It wasn't you. It had nothing to do with you.
How are you gonna get rid of me? I mean, seriously, how are you gonna get rid of me? I just can't even wrap my head around it.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever needed to just cleanse?
I was just gonna say he did a cleanse. Oh my God.
I did a cleanse. Okay.
All right, but we drew him back in because this conversation got important, and then he's like, "Okay, who are the women that I unfollowed? I swear, that's what you did."
That was not it. That was not it. That was not it.
I remember when I first found out, when I first saw it, like, I don't remember. I was like looking at your Twitter because you had said something and I wanted to see the comments. And then I got on yours and I was like, what? I was like, are you out of your fucking mind?
All right. So you give it right back. Where I mean, you guys have known each other because of the New York connection or just online because there were so few women doing options trading.
Yeah. I forget how we met, Rachel. Why don't you hook it up with just an intro?
I think you might have contacted me on Twitter. I don't know. Or maybe I contacted you. I don't remember really what happened, but we were both living in the city, and I think you were living in the city then, right?
Yeah.
And
Like,
let's get together. And I went down to your office a couple times at WeWork, I think, and then we also went like had a drink or something. I don't know. It was just fun times. Why not?
Yeah. Her vibe on Twitter was special, and there was a good period in time where she was really active. And, her thing was posting open interest changes towards the end, for the next day in the morning. And nobody was really doing that at the time. And people, again, still look at this thing as, for pinning and, any of the changes in OI. I think she's moved on from then. But Rachel, give us a little intro.
I have to ask though, real quick, Rachel. A long time ago, you were doing this as a freebie, and you were going to go off on your own kind of thing. I remember you had gotten somebody did a little nasty, and you were going to pull back. And I said, "Don't you dare let the barking dogs distract you from your goals." And you may not remember that.
I don't actually.
It was years ago,
and you can believe it.
And you said, "Thank you very much." You ended up. That was me, by the way. And because I was watching very quietly, I had no public persona whatsoever, but I had followed you early. And I just go, do your thing. Do not let, because it was a guy and it was something he did to put you down. I just remember sticking up for you. You may not remember that. You ended up doing your thing at Blue, and then I saw you got picked up by the street. You were doing some writing for them.
Yeah, that was weird though. It was too challenging for not worth my time. There's so many rules involved, but I thank you for that then. I appreciate it. Who really got me involved in a subscription actually is, you guys know Chess and Wine?
Chelsea
yeah, of
Wine.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Raging Cajun and that whole
Yeah.
crew over
Yep.
there.
He had encouraged me to do the subscription, but basically what happened is I had started off just pinning wasn't a big thing, as you said. It was not really, people weren't really watching it, and I was watching how stocks would pin constantly. This was, I think, even before I started doing, before weeklies even came out. And there was something to it, and so I just kind of became the person who took my little Excel and made a little chart and stuck a bunch of like the high thing stocks, like that high tech whatever, the ones that are like have a lot of momentum. And that's, I just started gaining followers because of that. And then I was encouraged to, it was a lot of my time, and I was single and whatever, but I was encouraged to maybe make a subscription, and I did, and it was awesome. I mean, it was really great. It took up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
And
but you added a lot of value, and even Tim said definitely added a lot of value. And you were you are, I shouldn't say you were, but I mean, when you were very active on Twitter, I remember laser sharp focused on, very like half a dozen.
Yes.
That was your thing. You just were, you were an expert on that dirty dozen or half a dozen, whatever it was. And that delivers a lot of value.
I mean, I'd like to believe that I helped bring like the options pinning stuff like kind of out in the open,
Dude, you did.
So,
No, they still haven't figured out a way to do this in real time. I'm kind of waiting for you to come around for this.
That it doesn't come out till like the end of the day.
Yeah, so we still haven't figured that out. But so where's your progression been? So you started a service. It was a pain in the ass.
Things were going well. Everything was going, for a few years. I even like raised prices at one point. Things were going good. And then, I got married throughout that. And then I got pregnant, and that was fine. But then when the baby was born, everything changed. Like,
yeah, it does.
Everything did change. And this very much relates to women in trading, because I'm not saying it doesn't change for a man. I'm sure it does, in a lot of ways it changed for my husband, but it changes a lot for us. So, I'm running my own service here. I don't get a maternity leave. I took 1 week. I took 1 week off. So, and it was even weird with my subscribers, because I'm like, look, one day I'm just not going to be here. And I don't know what day it's going to be. It's going to be around this time. I have like a block of time, and it ended up happening on a Friday. So, I was gone for the weekend. And then I was just like, look, I'm gone for the week. And then I came back, and it was probably one of the most stressful times of my life, because I'm trying to run this business. I literally just had a baby. My body is like out of control. My hormones are out of control. And, I'm now coming back to work. And at the same time, I don't have family to help me, because my family was in Los Angeles, which is where I am now, actually. And I was in New York City, and my husband's family.
So you moved also through all of this.
Through the pandemic, I moved. During the pandemic. So that was like after. So I kind of got settled in. So basically what happened is after, I don't know, maybe 8 months, 6 months, I don't remember exactly, of me trying to run the service in the same capacity I was doing it before my son was born. Just running myself into the ground, basically.
Yeah.
And what I ended up doing is cutting the price of my service, and also cutting how involved I am in my service. And the interesting part about that is I trade a lot less. I comment a lot less. Like, if the market is slow and doing nothing, then I'm doing nothing. Like, I'm not involved in the market. I will just take a step back and, come back when it's moving a little bit more. And it's not like I'm taking days off. Every morning I comment, every weekend I write a post, I'm still usually actively in a few trades. But the interesting part about it is once I made that change, I actually had my best year.
Wow.
Yeah. Which
Simplify.
that ties into psychology, because you guys know I was a psychologist too, right?
We were going to get into that. It's
yeah.
great.
And that ties so into it, because it's like, it's not so much it made me realize it's not so much that I have to like get deep into my psychology and like, why am I doing this? And like, why would I make that trade? Which you can second guess yourself a million times. What it really came down to was, can I allow myself to be patient? Like, can I allow myself to like have stillness, when things are going on and everyone on Twitter is like, all pumped up and like banging on their chest because they just made like, 300% and whatnot, like, can I just like slow down a little bit? And being busy with my son allowed me to see that, yeah, I can, and it's actually beneficial in the end.
Cool.
Okay. So your psychology background, was that also like an inspiration for you to get into the markets? Like, what inspired you to just?
I mean, In a roundabout way, yes, but no, because when I first got into the market, I didn't know how much psychology was involved. Like I just thought it was like numbers and like,
Nice.
but
Okay.
what was happening was I was working as a psychologist, and it was kind of during the financial crisis, and I was bored, to be honest. I was bored, and I was like, and it was like an escape for me because I was working with like, when you first start as a psychologist, they kind of throw you to the tigers. I was working with some really tough cases, and like, it was just a way for me to like get away from that, like just kind of be in the market because it was so exciting and new, and if things were slow outside of in the psychology where things were slow at the time, people were saving money, not doing like extra things. So it was just like something I kind of fell into, and then just over time. And I definitely 100% felt, so if you want to talk psychology, like it was like an addiction for me. Like the idea that I can make money like this was like grabbed me, like it, in a sense, a lot of women I feel like don't have that risk taking that I have.
Okay.
And they always talk about like they're more investors, they don't traders.
But you also, I remember you had a real, I don't know, your profile pic even was your physique. You were into personal training. You were into exercise.
Oh,
You
I'm
had
still
that
into that. Yeah.
Okay, but my point is that endorphin, that adrenaline, it's very much, and you were just talking about how in the options, world, they were pounding their chest with how much, they had gained. That kind of fed that whole sports analog, right? I'm just curious
100%.
if that's psychology, you already were really comfortable competing.
Right. Yes. Right. My whole life was wrapped around that. So this was like, oh, wow. It's like available every day.
Yeah. That's what I picked up. That's what I picked up instantly when I followed you. I was like, oh, she is competitive. She's got some male energy too, because she knows that she can be boss of this. And yet I also saw you had some vulnerability when someone tried to put you down. You were like, I'm going to take this off. And then you came back and you roared back like you were really stronger. I saw kind of like this confidence build over time. It's not flat, right? Your psychology is the more you do it, the stronger you get.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it changes all the time. I mean, even, having a family now, it changes, changes my perspective. It changes a lot. I even noticed myself, I was more risk taking before my son was born. And now it's like, I don't know, like, I don't know that I want to take that risk so much, like there's, more important things than like that lotto,
So I saw that my risk get pared back a lot after I realized that, when I realized actually how I could lose. In other words, when I was new and starting out, I had uber confidence. It just was cowgirl. Oh my God, the confidence was so, that adrenaline, if you will.
Yes.
And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, this is a lot harder. And then I realized all the ways of losing money. And then it becomes, oh, this is actually a risk game. This isn't,
You know what, with this going on, I'm going to put this out there because you guys it sparked a thing that I've been going back and forth with my daughter's mothers about, like, since God knows when. Like, when my daughter was born, this was like, Rachel, when you probably like just started out, it was like during the financial crisis. My daughter was born at that time, and I became so risky after. But she would always point out to me that I was only able to do that because she was the 100% with my daughter all the time. And I used to fight her on this because it was a pride thing for me. It was like a male thing for me. I was like, yo, I'm out here trying to do this for all of us, blah, blah, blah. I would say whatever I had to say to get the hell out of the conversation. And it was only now recently that, again, and me and her have a great relationship. And it's only now recently where I'm able to just sit down and be like, dude, you saved my ass. Like, I was able to do so much and take so much risk because she always had it covered. But she would always kind of look at me and be like, not a jealous per se and not angry per se, but there's a part of her that was just like, dude, I couldn't do those things. And I wanted to do those things. And she was like, I couldn't do those things because I had to make decisions always for the kids. And she, you know, we would always kind of go back and forth about this. And it took me a while to understand it. It took me a while to understand it because I never had to do it. I never had to do it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had my daughter, and sure, I saw her on the weekends, and sure, she came with me, but it wasn't like her relationship with the kids, where every decision she makes is for the kids. That's who
And
she's
Rachel
thinking
was
about first.
single, you said, in obviously the baby and the marriage came later. I had the opposite of you, Anand, where I was married, had
Right.
100% responsibility of 3 young children, and
Right.
my now ex-husband had zero support for what I was doing, less than zero. He wanted to sabotage it. So
Right.
I had the opposite, where I had to study and analyze and trade in secret.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare because I had total responsibility. I worked by candlelight as well. I mean, for the kids. So yeah, that's the opposite, where that resentment grew. I was not allowed to fly. I had no backup. The exact opposite of what your partner gave you. But
Yeah.
that's actually what kind of built in me. I love this. No one's going to keep me down. I'm going to do this.
Rachel, the supportiveness of your husband. He's there. He's
Yeah.
he's
So
he's there. He's
I'll tell
with
you
you.
what that was like for me. So it's interesting what you said, Anon, because you didn't understand really. The thing is, it's a kind of I feel like for women, and I'm not saying every woman, okay, but I'm
Sure.
saying like I would say a lot of women, and especially a lot of my friends that I talk to. So I told you I cut my service, I cut the price, I cut how active I was, I lost members because of that. And so it was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice I had to make. And my husband, yes, he's helpful with my son. And I'm very lucky and very blessed that I have a husband that is involved, but not like me, he's not as involved in me. And it's not 100% because he chooses not to be. I mean, I think that it's just not as innate to him. Whereas
Sure.
for me, every decision felt very important, especially in, when he
Sure.
was an infant and whatnot. And I didn't even feel like for myself, even if my husband had said, hey, don't worry, I got this 100% of the time, you don't have to worry. I still would have been very involved in my son's upbringing, in that stage. And I would not have been able to do my services in the capacity I was, because I felt the need to have to be making decisions and being there for him and whatnot. And that was like an internal feeling.
Right. Right. Do you have any advice? I mean, after I mean, he's what now? 2? He's
Yeah.
2. So any advice, I guess, for the the women who have young kids and are trying to get into trading, they're at home, would you, and you had said yourself too that sort of your son brought about this patience about you, and this in this way that you kind of look at the market, saying that, hey, I don't need to be here all the time to do even better. I can get better returns if I just, play when the market's moving. I guess, is that the advice to the women who have the young
100%.
kids?
I mean, it's 100%. Like you do not have to be in front of the screen the whole time. Even if you are, short-term trader. Like I wouldn't say I'm a swing trader, but I'm not really like a day trader as much, really.
Sure.
But yeah, you can have the computer in the background or on the TV screen or whatever and still do other things. Yes, it does get, like, once in a while the market will get really volatile and you want to get into some positions or get out of some positions, and that can be hard if you have like a screaming baby or whatnot.
Sure.
There's definitely difficult times, but it is what it is. That's life. You do what you need to do to survive it. But when the market's dead or it's just doing nothing, or it's flat, or in the middle of the day, often where, just, why do you have to sit there in front of it and like force a trade or think like, oh, that's moving, or because someone said something on Twitter about a stock about to move or something that you have to jump in? Like, you don't have to. Like,
That's great.
Hang back, see what's
That's
happening.
great. And that's great that your son was sort of a catalyst for, you to get to your next level, as far as the trader is
But
concerned.
we definitely find a way to make our way, right? I mean, if you want something badly enough, you want to be active as a mom and not outsource, and at the same time, you're not navigating, the halls, if you will, of corporate finance and trying to, climb that ladder, so to speak. So we all kind of like figure out and carve out a way that really works. Do you, in your subscription service, and I don't know how it is now compared to 10 years ago or whenever you launched it, do you see more women coming in? Do they find you? Do they want to be, in your service because you are a woman? Just, because whatever, not just because you're, good at options, but maybe the psychology of trading, do you impart some of that? Just, your style.
Right.
Have you tracked any of that to see if you have any bump up of subscribers that are in fact women?
Well, first I want to backtrack real quick because you had said like, basically, raising my kid by myself. I do want to say I have had help. So I don't want to like sound like a martyr here. Like, yeah, I do raise him and I do spend a lot of time with him, but I have outsourced a little bit of help too. Like I'm not.
You got to keep your sanity and you got to eyes on the prize when you're trading. I'm not saying it's all or nothing, but my point is,
it's not even just because of that, but like you said, you said I have like a little bit of like maybe, I don't know what you worded it, like some kind of like male inside of me a little bit.
No, competitive. The competitive.
Yeah. Like, there's a part of me that like I just cannot sit there and talk to a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old for that long, like without help. It's not even about the trading. Like it's just I can't do it. Like I can't. Like I need a break from him in order to be a better mother to him. So, but anyway, I didn't want to act like a martyr here that like he's like with me 24/7, like he's on my side all day long. But in terms of what you asked me, no, actually, no, I do not. I have not had any pickup in women. It is not. I mean,
really? Okay.
Part of it is that I don't advertise as much anymore. I kind of just, if people find me, great. Like I said, like I've been doing better in trading because since I had my son, so like that's great for me. That's great income for me. And then, the subscription on top of it, I just love doing because I like it. I like, connecting with people and knowing there's someone out there and, keeps me responsible and whatnot. And so that's also a benefit too, but I haven't really advertised in a while. And so maybe that's why I'm not getting as many women. I don't know, but no, I would say probably all my subscribers are male, maybe like 1 or 2 women, unless they're like lying about their name. And like you said, and they're quiet. So I don't hear a peep.
Yeah. Quite quiet.
I find that's changing, but that's maybe because I'm louder. Like I'm active. I'm sorry, but
you guys are louder. I mean, I remember Rachel. I remember Rachel shorting Chipotle. This was, what year was this? What year was this, Rachel?
I don't remember.
Chipotle was like $7.50, and she shorted the highs like and just threw it out there on Twitter. Was just like, shut up, everybody. This is what I'm doing, and it's going to like 300 or something, man. And she just crushed it. And I remember her just being like, and how much hate you get too, and not really hate, but how much sort of negative feedback you get on Twitter when you put yourself out there like that. And she would get it all, and she would just be like, nope, I'm holding, I'm holding, fucking holding this thing.
I was a lot louder. And more aggressive, and maybe I'll come back to that at some point. I think, I just kind of took a step back with everything going on in my life. And like I told you, this year's been crazy for me. We were living in New York City, no intention of being here in Los Angeles. Pandemic hits, like it's right at the start of it. New York's like starting to get crazy shutdowns and whatnot. And we're like, my parents live here. So I was like, let's just go to LA for 2 weeks, booked a flight, literally 2 weeks. We'll just go hang out, and then come back and life will go back to normal. And it just went crazier and crazier in New York. And we just stayed longer and longer. And at my parents' house, and we're like, when should we go back? And our lease was coming up in New York. And so we're like, let's just look at houses here. Just, I don't know, for the F of it. And then next thing you know, we're buying a house. And so it was like, this year's been crazy for me. It's just been like. But
you've maintained the business, and it's quality of life business, but you treat it as a serious business. Serious. I know, I can tell the intensity in your business. And now we're kind of relaxed. We're not preaching anything. We're just we're just navigating through how different women who have a successful trading career, whether it's in corporate or in their own homes, it doesn't matter. This whole thing of how you kind of navigated, and if you've seen an uptick, for example, in women, interests me. I mean, that's obviously why Anand and I were kind of talking about it. Who are some of the confident traders who, when you came out, it was mostly men, right?
Yeah. All men.
It's all men. And then you're still doing your thing, but you have not seen so much in the way of change. Yeah. And that's what it fascinates me. You might be still kind of, you're just not.
I see it on my Twitter feed. Like I see women.
You're not looking. I'm looking.
I mean, not so much in my subscription, but I've definitely seen a pickup in women, just in general. And I like it because you know what? They're quieter. And I don't mean quieter like they don't tweet as much. They're just not so like aggressive about it, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
I
like
think
more
that's
like
what turns
humble.
off. Yeah, I think that's what turns off many of them in our chat rooms. I mean, we were talking about that in the last webinar. It's just very braggadocious. It's the bravado in there in the chat rooms. And I think the quiet way of going about the market. I mean, we read it in the books all the damn time. We read it in the psychology books all the damn time. You quiet yourself and you're gonna make some more damn money. You quiet yourself in whatever aspects it is, and one of those aspects happens to be being a loud asshole in these chat rooms. I mean,
Right.
I'm at the point where I'm like, why am I still in these places that exist like this? Like, what is going on? Is it something that I'm doing? But I get
some
it.
women don't want to stay so quiet. And when they do speak up, they certainly don't want to be talked over or dismissed or rudely put down. So that's, another thing. Why am I doing my own thing? Why are you doing your own thing? And this is quality of life. At the same time, we don't have to navigate all that crap.
Yeah.
Because
Sure,
it's not worth it. We can, and I think a lot more are going to come into this space, and whether they quietly make their millions or try to, or they start up, some kind of business related to it, or they seek out and they get some mentorship and some real career building opportunities. I want to provide that kind of conversation and inspiration. I know someone in the room is like, I thought this was an option strategy talk. No, we do that all bloody day.
Yeah,
my God.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
We do that in our
don't.
service every single day on YouTube and free. Blah, blah, blah. No, this is like, okay, what's working for you? How'd you get there? Because we can see you, but we don't really know you. And so this is, I think, helpful to kind of figure out, like Mish last week. I mean, she's been doing it for 40 years and now is just taken off, and she's on Fox and she's Real Vision and she's all over the place. She's got some fire in her belly and wants, and that is a different type of, and she's still trading. She's still trading and runs a book, and it's very defined, how she does it. And others, you and I are a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, Rachel, so we got a ton of questions here coming in for you, but I wanted to ask you, like, what's in the future for you? So what's you kind of embarked on this, not really a new trading style, but just kind of like a new vibe, a new way of looking at the market. What's what's in the future for you, for the service or for anything else?
This. I mean, definitely more of this. What I'm doing now, the slowing down, I don't see that changing anymore, not for a long time, because one, it's been very much beneficial to me. My trading account has been beneficial too. And
nice.
And, I just don't see the need to go back and to be into that world of like, I have to be in a trade. It's not going to happen for me. My guess is as the next few years unfold, as I'm just going to continue to like hone in on my skills right now of what I'm doing with it just being a few trades, a week, maybe more if the market is volatile, and maybe less if it's not. And, just being patient, knowing that the market is there every single day. I don't have to why do I need to make this trade right now when the market's going to be there tomorrow and in a year from now and 2 years from now? It's not going anywhere. Yep. And you never even get like a vacation. They barely give you any like holidays. So
absolutely,
there's no reason for me to just be in a rush. And, I'd like to grow my subscribership also, and hopefully like people will start to see the benefit and maybe learn a little bit, that not being in every trade is actually, going to be beneficial for their account too.
Sure.
But I'm not in a hurry to advertise right now, because as I said, although I had my best year, it doesn't mean like that
you have to go hard. Yeah, you just immediately have to go hard in your business.
Let it unfold naturally, and then also when I'm ready. Also, I just had a big move. I just bought a house. Like I don't need to be sitting there and like going crazy on Twitter and being like, subscribe to me right now. I did the best.
I need to learn that shit. I need to learn that. That's what I need to learn.
You'd lose half your followers. No, you do not. And you know it. Boy likes the attention.
The fiends.
Can I tell you funny? James is not going to watch this. I hope James is not going to watch this. He went to my marketing director. He went to your Instagram. He was just whatever. We announced this. And he was so impressed because you have such a big Instagram following. It's like,
please.
It's serious. And then he started looking at the comment and he was like, half of in his British voice, we talked today, half of his posts, he's got no shirt on.
Yo, but I'm not even in the gym like Rachel is. Rachel's the one in the damn gym over there.
Listen, the first thing I did in this house was put in our little mini gym because
Look at her.
the gyms are
You
closed
see?
here.
First thing I did was make some damn pancakes with extra butter. You know what I mean? That's...
we have a room just dedicated as a gym. I got a treadmill, I got a bike, I got like the Bosu ball, I got all these weights. Like I gotta work out. That's my thing. Like I'm big into working out. I'm big into fitness.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because we got a question here coming in. Matthew here wants to ask you, are we going to touch on how our psychology background comes into play in trading? I mean, you have a very active lifestyle. You got a psychology background. So obviously like your mental health is like at a priority in terms if we were to compare it to the next person. So obviously you definitely focus on your mental health. So how does it all help you? How does it all help you? And how do you think it would help other women too?
I mean, women and men, if you are in like a bad place, you are going to trade poorly. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, there's really no two ways about it. If you are in a bad place or you are overthinking things in your personal life or just struggling, you're not focused and you're just making like, crazy impulsive moves. I mean, I think one of the main things that psychology helps me with is just knowing like when I'm being impulsive and when I'm making like a strategic decision. Because people are impulsive and I think trading brings out impulsivity.
So how do you tell the difference?
Yeah, what do you do? What's the sign?
Because that's a common problem and it's definitely, what are your helpful hints on that?
You want to know the sign? I have to be in it now. I have to be in it now. When you have that thought, when you can't wait 10 minutes, then you're being impulsive.
Got it.
Like it has to be now. Like if I don't, I'm going to miss it. Like that, when you're telling yourself that, and you can't like say, oh, you know what, maybe I should take a walk for 10 minutes or turn my head for 10 minutes. If you can't do that, you're being impulsive.
Right. Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. What were the other things? You were going on a rant about psychology, how it helps.
What else? I don't know. I mean, like, if you're waking up and just and treating this as like not a job, not a career, but just treating this as like fun times.
Sure.
You're probably not gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get your ass whooped, and it's not gonna feel good. Like you need to really understand like what you're feeling that day, what you're feeling that month. Like you need to know if this is the right time. Can you control your emotions? Like if you are someone who cannot control your emotions, you need to work on that first.
Right.
Or not trade options. So yeah, I mean, because you're going to be in a world of hurt,
Indeed.
Hey, if we're talking trader psychology, I don't do it. Like I'm serious. I run a trading room. I trade. I write. I analyze. The cows come home, and I love all of it across all asset classes. I'm busy, but I don't do trader psychology. To me, I think this is such a personal journey. In fact, we talked about this when we first, Anand, said, okay, let's try and bring more women into a conversation to see what they need. Maybe they need a website. Maybe they need some more mentorship. Maybe they need to know that like Sasha exists, right? So we're trying to bring attention, but maybe it should be trader psychology. I'm like, no, I'm out. Because
women need? You know what women need? They need confidence. That's what they need.
Yes, number one.
Because if people find out, like when I would meet mothers, because now that I have a son, like you meet mothers and like, oh, what do you do? And you tell them, wow, trading, like it's like such a foreign idea that they can get on a computer and like, type in a stock and trade it. Like they feel like it's not them. It's not that's the men's job, I know it's very stereotypical, but that is how.
No, they just don't have exposure to it. So that's
exposure, right.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. Yeah, and that's what we're doing. I mean, the fact that they're able to see you, garner that confidence, and it's inspiration. It is inspiration, and I think that's exactly what it is. The confidence.
For women, let me tell you something. If you're listening right now, okay, you can do it. You can be a mother and do it. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but you can. You can probably have a part-time job if you wanted to do it. You can, you can do so much, and then you can even do. What Samantha's doing, and you can even like wear makeup while you're doing it. Like I'm impressed that you're wearing makeup. Like I'm like
I shower right before.
I got my head in I got my hair in a hat, and I'm like, it looked like I rolled out of bed just now. Like
it's just us. It's just it's an intimate crowd of a few hundred. Honestly, I have saved so much money on makeup during COVID. It's ridiculous.
I don't even know if I put makeup on one time. I wear my Lululemons every day. And by the way, in LA, nothing is open. Nothing.
Oh man.
Oh, that's
Cali,
right. That's right.
Cali is really, really closed right now. Indeed.
Very sad. My life is so monotonous.
All right, so you're posting your trades in your room. You're doing it with confidence, and others get to to benefit from that. But not a lot of women, except anyone who's come into this conversation, they'll know that we got some confident women here, and also potential jobs there. On the trader psychology side, this is something else that Anand and I we talked about. I said, no, we're not going to talk about this, but since we're talking about this, I wrote something totally out of character for New Year's, kind of, a blog Happy New Year thing for clients. I mean, for anyone who's in my email database, which was so out of character, but I want to ask you about this because, and I don't know if you remember seeing it or not. These are things, the title was basically, and this has to do with the trader psychology, New Year's greetings of gratitude and ingratitude. So I went through kind of, these are the things I'm grateful for, yada, yada, yada. And then these are things I'm not grateful for. And honestly, they completely, to me, relate to the trader psychology. And I want to ask you about each of these 5 that I put, because I think this comes from my, kind of deep-seated, I'm a woman who wanted to get into this business. I absolutely like Mish when she said she arrived on the commodities floor and she never wanted to leave. I knew I was good at this. I loved it, but there were some obstacles I had to get over, right? One was a relationship that didn't value that drive, that thing that I really wanted. But scarcity mindset. This is one thing, abundance starts when we believe in it. I mean, comment on these, yay or nay. Do you think this is something that more women suffer from versus men, or just how to overcome it? Because I think the scarcity mindset at the very beginning in kind of identifying positioning or whether to enter a trade, is just, we have this, not just women, but across the board. Do we have a scarcity mindset? How to overcome that, where we can actually start to feel abundance and let it really come in?
I mean, I would like you to elaborate a little bit with what you're saying with the scarcity part, like what.
So that doesn't ring a bell. In other words, this is my thing. Okay.
Yes.
Anand, anything?
Yeah, I mean, you have to believe in it. You have to believe in it. My thing was, for the longest time, from your point, and I hear a lot of people using this word or these, this group of words, this scarcity mindset, and then abundance. They'll you usually hear these things, especially now in 2020. You have to believe in it. You have to believe in yourself. This goes back to the confidence thing.
Yep.
To me, this all goes back to the confidence thing. If you don't believe it and you don't truly believe that you can do it, of course you're going to be second guessing yourself every step of the way you try to do anything. So, it's difficult for some people to get there. And I think it's difficult to inspire folks to get there. All we can do is kind of do what we do and get there on ourselves and inspire others to believe in themselves, kind of thing.
So how about the fear of loss? We've all had it in abundance as well, right? I mean, you got taken out, I've gotten taken out. Rachel, I don't know how your trading history has been, but how do you, deal with the fear?
I mean, every trade I make, there's that fear, especially if you have subscribers, you feel like, are you taking them down the wrong hole? Yeah, 100%. Every trade I make, I have that fear, like, and the part that you said, the artist saying next, you're right. Like, the market is open every day, I mean, whatever, not weekends, but you know what I mean? It is always going to be there. And you just have to realize that, like, whatever, it's fine. There's no way you're not going to have a loss. There's no way, it's not possible. So move the F on and be done with it. And I don't also believe, by the way, and I'm not one to like sit there and go back and like look at how I messed up that trade and
with the journaling.
Yeah, sometimes the trade, it could have been the perfect setup, and you still lost because a news or a downgrade, or who knows? And so what am I going to do? Go and analyze that for 20 minutes on how I messed up? But like, how is that helping me?
I love it. She moves on. Rachel moves on quick,
that's my
and that
point.
helps
So,
you. That
but
helps you a lot.
that helps you a lot. So I find that this lack of forgiveness also is what others, and my inclination is that some have this kind of self-punishing behavior versus this next, which you just said. You're going to have losses 100% guaranteed. It's like, football, it's 100% injury rate. We're going to have losses. But this lack of forgiveness, and you have the confidence, you just keep training, you keep pushing, you keep exercising. You love the feeling of feeling good, doing those good things for us that kind of make us feel that we're productive and working towards a goal.
Right, don't confuse that with just because I'm ready to go next doesn't mean I don't feel bad. Like, I feel bad, like I feel bad about myself, even though if it was 100% like nothing I could have controlled. It was a great setup, but like, I don't feel great. It doesn't make me feel good, but yeah, like at the end of the day, I have to say there's more important things than that trade. Maybe I'll go, take a run or whatever to clear my mind. But I think that also feeds so much, is when you are recognizing that you're feeling like that. So many people take that, and instead of, they do say next, but they say next in the wrong way. They say, I'm going to get the next one. And then you know what happens? They fumble that too. And even worse, because they're not really focusing. They're just trying to get it back, get their confidence back, but that just sucks them in more. So when you're next, you have to recognize, what are you saying next to? Are you saying next, I'm going to crush the next one? Or are you saying, hey, that one sucked. I'm going to go,
good point. Yep.
I'm going to go run on a treadmill or whatever. And, and then I'm going to start fresh, instead of the mindset of, I'm going to crush the next one,
Yeah, or needing to make it back. Somebody actually just asked that question. How do you build that confidence after you had a major loss? I think Rachel has a point that can help all of us. It's literally, we all feel bad at that moment, and we choose to, our actions at that moment are very different. It's either productive or you crawl deeper down that sort of hole that's just going to cause and promote more bad decisions, aka eating bad, or not going to the gym, or falling off your routine, or any numerous things could happen. But yeah, absolutely, that's how you keep your confidence.
But another thing,
you have to learn to go do what you were going to do. So if you had a plan, don't change that plan. Were going to go do something, you have a bad day, and let's say I have a meeting somewhere, and I don't have to be there. How badly do I just want to not go,
So badly.
That is the absolute wrong mindset.
Nice.
Well, you also don't suffer from distractibility. I've seen that in your focus of, the select plays that you pay attention to, and that's often what people suffer from, and it's the distractibility. So yeah.
All right. Let's take a couple of questions here, and then everybody, you guys can find Rachel. Actually, Rachel, where can everybody find you? Where can everybody find your service?
My Twitter is @Sassy_Spy, because you know what? I couldn't get @SassySpy. Someone has it, and it pisses me off because they don't even have followers. But that's it. So I'm _Spy, and then you can find my website right there on it. If you just click on my thing.
There you go.
Perfect. And you do you do education as well, or you kind of just have a room where you're pumping ideas, or what's
pumping ideas? I talk about the ideas, so I guess you could say that's education. You read about my post every week, which talks about education, but I backed off a lot from the education part right now.
Okay. Great. Let's take a couple of questions here. I think there was one here where she was saying, how are you controlling your mindset after having a record year? So basically, this is my son asking you, hey, you're on top here. And what do you do?
Good question, because in fact, that record year has turned into also a couple good trades already starting this year.
Nice.
Now, there's that part of me that's like, I'm ahead. If I stay on this track, I'm gonna have another record year. It's hard. I have to. It's funny because actually today I was thinking about it as I was running on the treadmill. I was thinking about I got to keep this up. This is going good. And then and then I had to knock myself down a little bit and say, you know what? I don't know that I can keep this up. I'm going to do my best, but in the markets, there is no guarantee, you know, so I'm going to try to just stay focused and I'm going to try to stay ahead. But if I, you know, make some flaws, that's okay as well, you know, because I'm going to probably have great years and I'm going to have not so good years if I'm in this for the long haul. And it's just a mindset you have to remind yourself of. You have to like ground yourself. So do I think now because I had a record year that I am like the shit? No, I don't, you know, like maybe it was partly luck. It was partly, you know, being distracted with my son. It was partly that I decided to focus in a different way. You know, there's a lot of different things that met that goal, you know, so I just have to humble myself and realize that, you know, this is not a game that I have to like control right now, this second. Like it's I mean, it's a long haul.
It's a long haul. Yep.
Yeah.
Good
we
advice.
got a question.
I think that...
Go for it, Samantha.
No, go ahead. I wasn't.
Yeah, we got a question from Julie here saying, Rachel, no offense to anyone, but what do you think of the Robinhood traders? Do you find yourself trading other stocks that you normally would not trade because of what's happening right now? Even from 5 years ago, it seems like a completely different trading environment. So do you want to comment at all on?
I just go with the trend. So like, it was always like Facebook, Google, Amazon, you know, like
for the longest time.
Yeah, for Apple for the longest time. And now like I rarely look at those. Like, you know, I mean, I look at them and if they're moving, great, but like now it's definitely more of like, you know, like last year I did a lot with like the software, you know, or just whatever's running at the time and whatever people are talking about on Twitter.
Yep.
That's what I like.
Do you ever get into the other social media platforms like the TikToks and any of that stuff? Do you ever do any of that?
You know, I tried Instagram for a while.
Yeah.
I have to say, this is psychology too. I found myself going on Instagram and never feeling better. Like sometimes I would feel fine. I wouldn't necessarily always feel worse, but I never, ever, ever felt better. And often I felt worse. So I just, you know, I actually stopped going on it. Like, and now even when someone also like messages me on it or sends me something from it, I'm always like, oh, I have to go on it. So like, I even have like a burner one now, just so if I want to see what someone said to me, like I can go look, or I can look at someone's Instagram, because it really doesn't make me feel better. Like I get to see like all these people living their fake life. And even though I know internally they're not as happy as they're seeming, you know, I'm going through like this move and like, I don't know what's going on in my life. And, you know, and they're just like, oh, I have the best life ever, you know? And so it's tough, but that's another thing, you know, that's another thing that I feel like you got to do. Like if you get triggered by certain people on Twitter banging their chest, take them off of Twitter.
Yeah, you got to ban it. Yeah.
Why are you going to make yourself feel that way?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We got one more question here from Alexandra. She's saying that she loves hearing about your fitness and psychology flow into the trading. Love to hear all she does for mental health. Do you do meditation? Are you into meditation?
I am not good at meditation. I have tried many times. I will probably keep trying in my future, like every few months, maybe I tried, and it's just not for me. But I do find that yoga can help me slow down a little bit.
Okay.
But I think I personally need movement. So it's sitting still, like you know, and people could say, oh, well, you should work on that. But actually, maybe not. Maybe my body just needs to move to stay still, if that makes sense. Keep my head still, like my body needs movement. And that's just me. That's my personal thing. And like, I'm not going to fight it.
Absolutely.
Rachel's got this awareness that is very special that you don't see in a lot of people in general, men or women. So this is great. This is great. I loved having this talk. It's too bad we took so long to do this. We'll do it again sometime here, Rachel. Any last comments here, Samantha? You want to take us out?
We're good. I'm really happy to meet you after literally finding you probably 10 years ago. So I'm a fan. And
I want to say, Samantha, you're inspirational for me too, because I look in that picture and I see, you know, the 3 kids and the cat and the dog, and I'm like, dang, I'm only just struggling with 1 kid right now.
Well, they're all 3 in college at the same bloody time, which is why I can actually give a lot of my energy to this game of analysis and building the business and the, you know, the institutional business and the algos and the stuff we're doing together on Thursday, Anand. I mean,
Rachel, Samantha's on fire right now. Samantha's on freaking fire right now.
I gotta stay busy. I love this game, and I absolutely want to elevate the game by inspiring and attracting more women into it, so they have this, you know, face. They can be what they can see. So thank you for joining us. I really appreciate that, and Happy New Year, everyone. We'll do this again in 2 weeks. New guest. To be determined, but don't forget, if you are interested in the opportunity for mentorship by John Devine, both Anand and I have his coordinates. We can send them to you and make that introduction. I wish you a great rest of the trading year, Rachel. Nice to just
Thanks.
have this chat.
Yes, very much so. Thanks,
Good
guys.
luck, Rachel. Have fun out there in LA.
All right.
Bye, everyone. Thank you again for joining.
Take care.